A new Overwatch comic has appeared on the scene. Let's dig into it if you know what I mean. We're going to leave no snow pile unturned, because there's so much more lore to be learned. Welcome everybody to the Overwatch Christmas comic Reflections, a for the most part heartwarming tale involving Tracer, but also a lot of the Overwatch cast, and containing some serious lore bombs. The biggest one, of course, I'm sure you've already heard. There is a snowstorm in London. I know. Alright, let's get on with this then. We begin with a look at Winston's monitors. He's got a weather report from May on a screen, seeing how she's getting on. Zarya is fighting on the front lines. Cool Russians don't look at explosions firmly going on. We have Diva, and what I think is likely an advert, right? She'd totally be used to sell stuff. I mean, she's in a Christmassy elfy outfit, and as the celebrity that she is, she would totally be in a lot of Christmas adverts. And then the cool thing is we do see that Recall is active, confirming that this is, of course, post-Recall. But then the sad thing is, Winston, despite it being after Recall, is still lamenting himself being so alone. He's been alone these last years, and indeed, even though Recall has happened, he's still just in Watchpoint Gibraltar, monkeying around, tinkering with his tech, and it's kind of sad for such a lovable ape, it really is. So, you know, he wants Athena to let him know if there's any word from Tracer. Apparently they've got plans this holiday season. Oh, it's just adorable. But unfortunately, she's not here. And, you know, ever the optimist, well, she's probably just running late. That was terrible impression. And indeed, she is running late, and quite literally running. She is zooming through London on seemingly a desperate mission as the clock strikes. So what is she after? Well, firstly, it's nice to just get an image of King's Row with actual people on it, because presumably it would be very busy. Like, it would be absolutely swarmed compared to the ghost town we see on the map. So it's good to get that impression. So she goes past a couple and their daughter, who gets all of their presents stolen by what looks like a member of Team Skull, and she's like, I gotta help, right? I gotta help. They've yelled, help thief, so I've got to go make sure the thief is okay. He's probably messed up inside. If he's stealing, you know, he probably needs a hug. No, I know what they're implying. And she is busy, so initially she's like, I'll have to leave this to the bobbies. Okay, I'm going to stop doing impressions now, and has a quick little glance at her chronal accelerator here, and this is very cool, because it really marries the game mechanics and actual lore of Tracer's power together. Because look, we get confirmation that there are these 3 separate segments on her chronal accelerator, which obviously, right, represent the 3 blinks you get in game. So, as it stands in terms of blinking, lore Tracer isn't that much more powerful than in-game Tracer. Obviously, lore Tracer can go up and down and use it a lot more creatively, but in terms of frequency and how it works, they seem to be pretty similar. It's cool to get that glimpse into the inner workings of the chronal accelerator. So, of course, being the good-natured hero she is, cannot resist having a quick zippity-zip and saves the day and returns the Christmas presents. And, of course, they're all very, very happy for that. But it makes her even later, and she gets to a shop. So we find out she's on a desperate mission to do some last-minute Christmas shopping. And can I just say, the correct thing to do at Christmas to avoid maximum stress is to buy all your presents at least a month before. That way you can rest easy knowing that you can make adjustments accordingly as time progresses and your needs changes, alright? If the day is December and begins with a 1 or a 2, you have left it too late, my friends. Alright, so the shop is closed, and the scarf that she wants to get, presumably a present for a character we're going to meet in a bit. She doesn't want to get home without one. I don't think it's for Winston, like a few people are saying. She's got a zip-on to the next place. And I do really like seeing Kings Row like this, the blizzard, all of the lights, all of the people. It's just good to breathe this life into the world of Overwatch. So she gets into this shop, which is open, uses her blinking and time powers very responsibly to speed shop, and ends up actually finding the scarf, obviously swiping it before realizing that unfortunately someone else was just about to take it. And like a sad kid that's just been like, oh, fine, you can have it, hands it back all sulkily, which is really good for her character, because someone who is so overly peppy and yeah as her would totally have a sad sulky streak. She reluctantly hands it back and has to find herself back on the street with just no luck today, nothing going on, and then her chronal accelerator runs out of charge, which we know it can do. It happened in the initial cinematic. She had to wait for it to come back on. And of course, this is awful because now she has to use the London Tube. I speak from experience. I don't like it. So now, of course, she will be late, which does kind of suck, but it looks like one good deed deserves another, and she gets given a present by the kid of the couple that she saved them from the thief, and she gets a lovely present, and that's all happy, you know, a nice little showing of Christmas spirit. And once again, the clock strikes, and now we get to the start of the really cool stuff. So, this scene actually gives us a hugely important lore confirmation that Tracer doesn't need to wear her chronal accelerator to stay locked in time, she just has to be near it. Which is good, because it just lets the character be a lot more flavorful and lets you do a lot more things with Tracer. On a, well, superficial level, it lets you do skins that don't involve the accelerator without people going, well, surely she should be banished in time right now. So it's just kind of nice to know. It also means that she's a lot less restricted as a person to always having to wear this thing. You know, getting an answer to, well, how does she change? How does she shower if she can't take this thing off? You know, it's nice to at least get confirmation she can somewhat function normally as long as it's in the vicinity. Though with it being such an important thing, if somebody picked that up and ran away with it down the road, as soon as they got far enough, she would disappear. So she'd only take it off like this in a situation where she trusted the environment explicitly, which she clearly does because of the character that we meet next, who is called Emily, and is getting Tracer a drink from the kitchen. So we're like, oh cool, this is a bit of Tracer's family, friend, sister, what's going on here, explaining why she's so late. And then we get her to see the present, and we have one of these kooky, oh my god, how could this happen, Christmas happenings, where she's like, oh, is that present for me? Real talk though, who does that? Who sees a present and goes, oh, is that for me? And then just picks it up and starts opening without waiting for a response. Like, you know, it's amusing. It creates these situations we've seen in things like, well, comics and movies, etc. But who actually does that? Do people do that? Either way, Tracer fails in affirming that no, that's actually not for her. So she goes and opens it, and lo and behold, it's the scarf, which, as it turns out, is perfect. And then we get a really awesome reveal. And that is that Tracer is Overwatch's first confirmed LGBT character, which is wonderful for a number of reasons. Although what is not wonderful is that this comic is banned in Russia because it promotes homosexuality. Like, are you kidding me? That is fucking disgusting. Either way, let's talk the good. This works really well because Tracer is an established iconic character. We've known the character Tracer for years. We know her personality type. We know her quirks. Then we find out in this lovely family love Christmas setting that she has a girlfriend. And at that point, it just makes you go, huh, cool, that's a neat new thing we know about Tracer's character. It adds depth, it adds complexity, it makes her more well-rounded. It's just an extra facet of the Tracer that we know. And honestly, it makes me think this really was a well-planned character from the beginning, because by letting us get used to them, let us know them before this subtle reveal, it just makes it have just no real impact, but that's not a bad thing because of just how, oh, okay, that's the thing. It really makes it such a, for want of a better word, normal thing, which is the best way to promote acceptance because it is just that. It's a normal thing. It's not something that defines a person or character. So really, the lack of ceremony in this whole thing is really key. Because you don't want it to blow up and be like, oh yeah, Tracer is Overwatch's gay character, She's not now. She's just still Tracer who happens to have this going on. If they just added a new character and went, yeah, they're gay, then that just looks really transparent. They're adding it to have a gay character just for the sake of it. Whereas with Tracer, it's like, alright, neat. What next? And while I could continue to wax lyrical about how this is an exemplary example of character development, we should move on. So, back to Winston. Well, I guess there's no point in waiting. And he's kinda sad, he thinks it's not happening anymore. Here goes nothing! And we have Watchpoint Gibraltar Christmasified. Apart from proving that Winston has got decorating skills, it's also really neat because Athena is at the table. Winston really sees Athena as a friend, a companion. They're like an old married couple, and I think this adds credence to the theory that Athena could really be a hero. If she goes in the robot body that looks like it is her robot body from the big picture, then we do have Athena, the Overwatch hero, because Winston treats her so much like an actual person, which I think is lovely. And then we have a really sad, touching moment, Winston lamenting that he's short on both family and friends, looking at what he considers his father, and it's just really touching. And then he wonders how the Overwatch cast are getting on, and now we have the juicy bits. Oh yes! So we have Reinhardt surrounded by all 8 of Torbjorn's children. Torbjorn in his Santa outfit with his wife. I mean, I think I know why he's dressed up. Torbjorn, you sly dog. There's going to be a lot of stocking stuffing happening in this household. I can't believe I just said that. But you know what they say about dwarves? Why did I say that? Either way, the interesting thing to note here is that half of them don't have blonde hair, which is weird considering that both parents presumably have blonde hair. Like, Torbjorn's default skin has him with blonde hair, and she has blonde hair, so that's curious, isn't it? Maybe that's supposed to imply something, maybe not. Either way, we have the picture from the Anna cinematic above, the mantelpiece of older times, of maybe better times, although they do seem to all be very happy, if only a little bit lamenty of times past. But it's nice to see that be referenced. Blizzard are really good at having these interwoven continuity pieces between their works with these characters, and it really fleshes out the world and makes everything feel meaningful, purposeful, and detailed. Reinhardt's doing a great Uncle Reinhardt catchphrase, I'm sorry, with the kids. And then next to him is Bridget, which is the woman that follows him around, the great friend. She repairs his armor now that Overwatch as an institute doesn't. And clearly Torbjorn and all of them, they're all friends and spending Christmas together. It's just a really, really nice scene. I very much enjoy it. So we have Genji, who is writing a letter with a quill, which I believe to be a sparrow feather, because he is known as the Sparrow. He has a sparrow skin. He throws a sparrow feather at Hanzo. No, he throws a whole sparrow at Hanzo, and it's kind of like his calling cards. Then Yana meditating with snowballs. Whether he's about to pelt Genji for some training, I don't know. I can only hope so. Then we see Farah with presumably, I'm going to guess her father, because I don't think her father is Egyptian. I think that her father might be the inspiration behind her having a more native skin in the sort of Thunderbird type-esque look, and that is who Anna met on a mission somewhere, and that resulted in Farah, not the theories that it's either Soldier or Reaper. I mean, come on now. Either way, they do seem to have Canada on TV in the background from the flag there, so maybe they're in Canada, which is kind of weird, but either way, I'm assuming it is a father-daughter lovely meal for Christmas, because in the world, Farah's father isn't a mystery, it's just not been revealed to us yet. Junkrat and Roadhog doing what you'd expect them to be doing, driving high speed away from a park. They've presumably blown the shit out of stuff, nothing crazy going on here. Hanzo is with a cake that he seems to be very intent on staring down, still has his arrows on, because of course you never know when honor needs to become redemption. Nothing crazy with this one, there's no indication he's got any connection with the kid that's there, he's just kind of in casual clothing, which is weird for Hanzo to be fair, but still. Nothing bomby happening. We got McCree and Sombra who are drinking in a bar. Whether it's together or not, there's no indication if they even know each other, but I do like the idea of them having a drink off between them, and McCree drinking away his past sadness at Christmas is something I can totally see for his character. I think it fits very, very well. And then we have this crushing picture, Widowmaker at the grave of her husband. While this is really sad, because, you know, Christmas, visiting a dead loved one, that's awful, but the implications here are huge. For Widowmaker to be visiting her husband's grave at Christmas, the husband, by the way, that she murdered in his sleep because of Talon conditioning, that's got to imply that she still feels something. Which contradicts her character, who is supposed to have no emotion. She's supposed to be literally a cold-blooded killer. That's why her skin is the color that she is. Her heart rate is so slow, the blood doesn't get around her body properly. It makes her a better sniper, but it makes her blue. So presumably she still feels something. But the question is, if she's aware that she's the one who killed her husband and she still feels sad that her husband's gone, surely she'd be angry at Talon for this. Surely she wouldn't be working for them unless it's the long con. So maybe the tragedy here is that Widowmaker wasn't aware of herself when she killed her husband under Talon's influence, and Talon told her a lie of how she died. Maybe it was Overwatch. So now that makes her go against her old friends while working for the organization that brainwashed her into killing her husband, as she remains sadly unaware of that fact. I think there is hope and redemption in Widowmaker's future, I really do, because that is tragic. Then we have Mercy, who is receiving the letter from Genji. The Sparrow's Feather is all the confirmation I need, and I think I know what it says.
I require healing.
But yeah, he obviously has a lot of respect for her. They're probably good friends. She, you know, air quotes, saved him. And Mercy herself seems to be in a war zone in a tent, which fits her character and what she spends her time doing, so that's all good. We have Reaper creeping for some reason. I don't know what connection he has to these people, but maybe he's got a little bit of humanity left as he's observing a presumably happy family on Christmas. Maybe there's something going on here. Maybe it is his old family. I think there's a deeper meaning to this one. And then the old soldiers who are tired and have seen too much war. Since Anna's and Soldier's comic, they've been going round together, helping Soldier find out what really happened to Overwatch, and they're presumably in some sort of bunker or safe house somewhere, and they're looking very lamentful, probably missing Farah, and it's just kind of just sad, you know? They're old, they just want to be happy with family, but they can't stop the fight. It really is quite crushing. As far as the picture he's looking at, no idea. Maybe a younger version of themselves that was taken, or maybe his parents, or I don't know. That one has definitely got me. But yeah, a lot of interesting stuff going on in all of that. But then we go back to Winston, who's accepted that no one's coming to his for Christmas, so he engages Athena's party mode, which is adorable. Santa hat and snowflakes. But then, oh, in the nick of time, a Christmas miracle. Tracer and Emily arrive, and they all have a lovely Christmas dinner together, and maybe a bit of foreshadowing that next year's will be even better. But yeah, a lovely way to end it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun to go through, and I think it's a really sweet Christmas comic. My name has been Rage. Like if you enjoyed this, and subscribe for more. I'll see you next time. Oh, goodbye.